Hello, Borhiran. Well, this might be actually quite a different type of video, as you have seen in the title. I'm more than likely going to probably just talk about a book I'm not completely sure is. Yes, that my mission was to only get more shares anyway, so it's technically only going to be a run. So I want to talk about a book I was reading about. Nature of a Predator, if I remember correctly. If I remember correctly, man, I was just reading it. The Nature of Predators. Because I have to say, it's the reason why why I'm so late with this video for today. I'm not completely sure in what page I am because I'm reading the free version of Reddit, which may be different from the book because it has an actual book. I bookmarked it on Amazon, if I correctly. Let me just choose the color. It's already supposed blue can work. What's that talking about? Oh yeah, we're working on Amazon. But that was also, I guess he was publishing also freely on Reddit for a time, which was also 4 years ago, I think, or it was 5. Which year is it? 2026? Yeah, I think it was 5 or 4. Which, just let me choose flashlight spear. Someone. Alright, yeah, I think it is. This is alright. Along with probably Golden Farm, something like it, and Betrayed, I think it was. But yeah, I got quite entertained for the book, if I'm being honest. I wanted to talk about it. I haven't finished, obviously. I'm using I'm going to talk about the spoilers, obviously. I wasn't a part of the invasion to the human armada. Well, not human armada, the planet entirely, to Earth, from part of the cactuses, the bears as they call it, which I assume, I imagine that like if they were ostrich, or maybe what was the name of Shen? It was not rooster. I actually forgot how it was his species. Shen from Kung Fu Panda. Oh yeah. I think it's one of the, I imagine as one of those species. I normally thought it was only a ostrich, but because it said it had, the captain, they put in the history to you, that it had color feathers, I thought maybe they could also appear to be a peacock, yeah, I don't remember. Peacock. Because they're not as vicious as the ostrich can be, but they do try to defend themselves with the eyes in the plumage. So I also imagining like a combination of those two, obviously in a more, the ostrich is already biped, but still a more biped type of being. Also why I have to obtain electric dash. Because they are technically all sapient reborn beings, which is quite the premise of the book. If you didn't know, the humans made the first contact with alien species, right? But the results thus that alien species is an herbivore and are quite afraid of humans because, surprise surprise, they had already found a predatory species before the humans that is in an actual war against the Federation, as they call it, all the other species in knowledge, because it's if I read correctly a bit of the message of the experimenters, potentially sorry, of the creator, it's only on the scale of the Milky Way, well, and somewhat close to the vicinities. It's not comparing the complete galaxies. Well, the Milky Way is a galaxy, right? So let's say plural galaxies. Ooh. So there, I guess you could say, not only the alien is the fantasy thing, also the fact that there exist most planets that can maintain life in our galaxy. Because as we know, they're quite very short, and well, short in amount and still pretty far from us. Jump at ground. Oh, it's alright, we'll do this one. Vanguard. So yeah, a bit of false planets was, you know, oh, damage. It's part of the fantasy anyway, so let's not try to make that much of that guy that needs to say, no, it doesn't make sense. Ah, what the? I changed Ragnas once so wide. Quite a combination of games, isn't it? Be talking about a book and also be playing a roguelite that is not exactly the more easy of games. At least not in the difficult time going. I know that pre-record the video and my voiceover over it with a, how you would say, when a script is actually in real time, which is why sometimes I have a loss of talking judgment. Well, no, yeah, talking judgment is in it. That once I always had it. Yeah. Sometimes I'm struggling because I'm playing. Oh, it's perfect, is one I didn't. No. Yeah, quite entertaining skill. Yes. So the entertaining book. I was talking, right? So yeah, they visit the first. Well, the first. I should have gone to exchange. The first predatory race began and war against all the other species because they don't see it as nothing more than cattle, and they try to paint them as a very Venus race that, well, painted, but they do commit pretty atrocious acts. They do kill kids and things like that. No, they try to make them like the absolute vegans. But the more we get in the story, when I, for example, in the part I am, when it's already part of the war with humans and the Federation, we also discovered that part of it was created by the Federation, that they gave them the technology. I forgot they have those shit. They gave them the technology to go the special travel, but also gave the ultimatum of destroying the cattle and making a virus that if made them unable to they use there we go. That made them unable to eat meat, even if they didn't process plants or anything else. So they were practically starving them. Which is this? The whole. Alright. Starving them. And they discovered, like, yeah, I guess the Federation will make them do something like that because they wanted the extinctions of humans the moment they discovered them. And the only reason they didn't do it is because they thought humans already wiped themselves with nuclear fight. You know, it resulted that humanity survived, and it was the beginning of the story when they went to the first contact going on their species with the I don't remember if they stated how they look. I imagine them as somewhat of a combination of maybe sheep or somewhat cattish or cat. I don't think they're nothing like that. They probably do be sheep, but I want to imagine them as cat because there's one manga recently released in an actual series. It was called Tonerico, if I remember correctly. That has a premise of a world with, I guess, furries, you can say, more like it. Animal. Well, no, what's the actual term? An animal that evolved like a human. The ones from Zootopia, you could say. Because I remember they do have an actual term, I just forgot what they call it. But yeah, animals that evolve as humans, you can say. They were. That's why. Yeah, the manga I was talking about. So yeah, Tonerico, that like a human gets to a planet like that, and it all about the problems, right? Because they thought humans were like an legend and things like that. I wasn't sure if they were supposed to kill them or how the politics of trying to keep one alive. And I also want to imagine that because one of the I said they were not protagonists, but they show you the story from different points of view. And one of them is the governor of the sheep race, Tarva, if I remember correctly. Tarva, and it reminds me of the character from Tonerico that is a cat, one of his one of the secretaries of the government, which is a cute cat that gets attached to the humans and is one of the ones that tries to play in the favor of the human. And I say the human because in Tonerico the human race is presumed to be extinct because of the time it took the human to reach another planet. But yeah, in this one, go back to the nature of a predator. In that one, the humans are alive and they do have the technology of light years, but they didn't develop actually weapons as such. It was just a research vessel, so it was not that armed. And they began to have shenanigans because the only predator race a part of them was a one that killed children and, war crimes. So they were quite scared of humans, and well, they are quite scared of humans. That's why, as I was saying, they are in war against humans. One of the reasons that they didn't want to try to talk. Well, careful with guys. They didn't want to talk about the peace treaties conversations in the Federation talks. When one of the human representatives went to talk about trying to make peace treaties, but the one that didn't wanted, the ones that talked about beers, they were the most. I forgot about it. I wanted to talk about them more. I really hate that attack. Sorry about that. Let me concentrate for us a little bit. This is one of the... No, that dude. What? I thought he was going to do the attack again, which it was, but managed to stun it. Yeah, the Beer Specimen show preciosity from the very beginning because of they're predators, right? So they assume that we are trying to kill them. We're going to try to kill them too. So they are presenting themselves very antagonistic. I forgot what point was I trying to make. But yeah, let's talk about the book. About Lisa, the part I'm at the moment, the war, and finding it right entertaining. We have to admit, the pacing is quite well put together, even if it's with different people. Wait, this is a time one. Let me just concentrate for a little bit. I hate this challenge once when it's time against poor distance enemies. Alright. Also was talking about the quicing with put together, even when they are talking about different what would you call it? Points of view, right? Because it passes down from the governor, it goes to one of the humans that was in a program to try custom the herbivores to, well, the first herbivore raise the ships with humans to ensure there was cohabitation is possible. So it was in a problem where one of the ships was assassinated at one human to become then by that it accused on the complete race, right? Yeah, one of the guys in there was is other of the protagonist. Well, yeah, I guess you can say protagonist. His ship companion is also one of the protagonists. Marcel, no, Marcel is the human. Ooh, I forgot the ship names. Yeah, well, one of the ships, the ship companion is also. Ooh, the explosion. One of the protagonists and one Slobin. Oh, I forgot the name. Well, one race and is almost extinct now, which was the one in one point captured Marcel and tortured him because he was a predator, right? And he wanted to feel vindicated of the things they did to his race. So later they talk about the guy Sobri had a wife and kids, which got absolutely destroyed by the predator race, the Xnerx. I'm probably saying wrong the name, but they are a lizard type of race, so I guess funny work on the name, right? Snakes. Yeah, his family was eaten by them, so it was quite the quarrels against predators. And in one point, ooh, the explosion of that annoying war. In one point, captures Marcel and wants to get, well, I guess the feeling of being against your capture, isn't it? As if you were bully, I suppose. You finally caught your bully, so you are going to suffer him the most, even if you don't realize you are the bully yourself also. Thunder. It's right. Let me just do a bit of wine. There we go. Yes, without realizing you're to bully yourself. And that make the humans attack his planet, which make the snakes attack his planet, because they noticed it was free now to grab. Which, well, yeah, he's one of the protagonists too, talking about, yeah, so from some view of why he did that about the other human, because he was also a respected general at one point. As I say, he's, well, in the point at the end, he's still alive, but he's racist, and so that's why I'm talking about respected general when his race is no more, so are you really a general if your race is not existent anymore? Yeah, he's got the points of view. First with the torture, well, first showing that he's a commander, then showing the torture, and then his capture for part of the humans. Another point where I am is somewhat part of, I guess, fighting and somewhat of negotiations with the fierce predator race, because as I was saying, humans didn't develop all that much about, what would you say, armament, and so the war that the Federation is wanting to make is quite close enough to extinction too. So they wanted the help of the first the Nazi snakes, as they call it, to try to survive. Although they don't like them that much either, because although they were quite set up by the Federation to become the monsters they are now, they do still do a lot of war crimes against prisoners, and they're capable as they say, but even if they're just normal sentient beings, which in one point was part of the fight, well, the disgust the humans are, half because they were seeing the human friends, the fierce race, the fierce herbivore race with contact, to just be dinner, as one of the generals called them. Yeah, first. Oh, I was talking about it all. But yeah, they need the help to kill the bears. And as you left in the point where they're bombarding the Earth, so it's probably that actually Earth is going to disappear off the map, and the left ones are going to quite be angry at them, but the bears also going to be disappear off the map, and it's probably that one of the 7 races more are going to get disappear. So, like, I'm talking about a lot of protagonists, but they are dying. Like, a lot of them are just dying willy-nilly. It is not fun keeping these punches, this story, which I guess this part of why the that's proper flame arrow. So of why it's entertaining, because it's actually pretty grim, you could say. He's not keeping anything uncover, like the cute creatures are dying side to side. The ones, probably the less ones that are not dying are the sheep, funny enough, which, don't get me wrong, I saying they are dying. Well, they are dying, just not in history. We know one of the predator has them as farm, and they're getting killed. But we haven't seen any of the characters dying directly on waters. But they are getting quite distraught too. At least the human friend, because they were also trying to get disposed of as a message to make humans see more dangerous too. Quite funny, right? I'm talking about the book without a script, just babbling. Which, yeah, I guess technically still part of this channel was to make as a reminder of my experiences with the game, right? Which is quite notable by the amount of viewership. Because I have very few people watching. But still, I made to remember my emotions of what I was saying about games, story-driven games, which is funny considering half of my schedule for videos is not it's about roguelites like this one and not actual history games. But the first videos were about, well, no, actually the first videos I don't think were about Limbus Company. The first streams were, but the videos weren't. But yeah, it is a heavy why? I guess I don't have the combination. Oh, resistance energy, my friend. Let me take this one a bit serious. No. Wait, no, I don't want to die. Not at least when I'm still talking. Also, could have used my attack, I guess. Ah, I can't use the combination because... Ah, I see. That's why I was not able to do Persuade. That can work still. Yeah, to keep my experiences as well of at the moment of the game or less playing. And I guess now even books and reading. Well, yeah, I guess why not? Maybe even I make up one video after finishing. Maybe that time I do making a script, somewhat of a script at least, to be in a more orderly manner. Not so much ramblings to talk whatever comes to my mind at the moment. Is that right? Let's see what do you go? There we go, lightweight. Blue. Blue enemies. You need one more. Max HP. There we go. more orderly manner, not this type of... Raccoon. Me take a bit serious against Harakune because it's one of the stronger bosses. Ooh, managed to break that. Peculiar time not doing any damage rolls, so I don't have Ragnar's skill and don't have the explosions. Forgot what to do. It's okay now. Oh, come on. How did you forget what you were talking about? Ah, yeah. Yeah, with a better script, so now just talking about... oh, right, nice. Not using recent experiences. Let me put the images of to demonstrate what I am talking about, because as I say, I have like some of the races already think somewhat of what I think they actually are. Well, for what I guess human animal, I think they evolve human herbivore. Alright, herbivore. So I was thinking one of them was a squid, but considering squids are not actually herbivores, are actual hunters with camouflage. Well, I guess let's say one squid evolved. I hate you. Nothing to say about that. Man, I really lost the plot pretty fast, huh? Like, I'm sorry for a fan that wanted to actually hear me talk about the book, because, as I say, the amount of people that actually watch my videos is quite in the low numbers. So, if someone found my video voluntarily, it's probably because the title contains the book name. So he came looking for it exactly, right? So he wanted to hear like an honest maybe review, which and doing not help at all. And just saying whatever occurs to my mind, I suppose. Which maybe is an honest review part on it itself. No, why I'm kidding. It's like if I want to hear someone talk about something I like, I probably won't want clear and direct points of view. Not saying someone saying, well, I thought it was cool, yes. Well, I guess another point. I think I have to get a better double jump. Oi! I hate you. Yeah, I would prefer someone that actually knows what it's doing. What? Didn't I already say it before? I was thinking that no, maybe someone, or did I? It was a counter argument to that part. Well, I guess better to do just say something that maintain silence as tend to do in those videos, because I get concentrated. At least even if it's the actual viewers of being seeing the story of the you call it the laboratory. At least I'm hearing about a book that maybe interesting. Might be of interest to them? Yes. Yes. 1 + 1 is 2. Oh, come on. I don't know in map did you manage to find. From an enemy tactic. Increase my. Not sure, why not? Technically, I don't think I'm putting the boost with blind or stun or by taking clarity to do so. It can help. But yeah, the ones that do actually worse into this area of the laboratory at least have not a lot of those blank spaces. But we could also make a counter argument to that, isn't it? Maybe they prefer the blank spaces and just were interested in the story bits. Nice. One of those is giving me a lot of damage. Like this one. Quite not talking space, isn't it? Yeah. I funny enough found that book by TikTok in one of the classical videos of an AI voice talking about Reddit. Is there an enemy over here? Why only there? Talking about Reddit prompts, which is probably AI prompts. One of the comments say that there is actually one book that is quite similar of the premise of this. of this prompt, and it's quite well structured, and say, oh, you know what? Why not, right? Which is how I found it, and how I found the other two ones that I'm actually curious to, and maybe end up reading too. The Golden Farms, which is a romance about a human that studied agriculture, and a Minotaur type race woman that is the owner of a farm that is getting into rats, and so they develop a relationship where also trying to save the farm, at least that's what what the synopsis says, which you know, and don't have a reason to say no to a romance story with a monster girl. And that is not a self-report. I am quite aware of my very use this for my likes and dislikes. I'm not sure why I'm not doing change reactions. Should be doing a lot more with this build, unless I chose wrong the build I was going, which is a probability, right? Not perfect. Which maybe it is, because I think I need the light wave. Yeah, it's because I have the wrong one, I guess. Actually, I think I am using the type of the lambda that was wrong, because I should be having one that make that when one thunder goes down, a spear launches at it, and that when a spear launches at someone, a thunder goes down. So something, well, not something, the legacy was wrong. Also, fun fact, you remember these three characters? Well, not three characters, two were technically Nan, the butterfly lady, and Reiki. That's a lot of people want to as playable characters. It results that maybe in BlazBlue they are not playable characters, but the butterfly lady is actually a character in another roguelite. It's called Realm of Ink. Doing the special. The butterfly lady is in that game, so I guess we are not going to have them in BlazBlue Entropy Effect, but in other games they are going to be, which hopefully doesn't happen with Reiki. I really want, if Reiki someday becomes playable, I want her to be in this one. As I said, I really like her designs, well, her design and fighting patterns, which you probably don't know who is Reiki. Well, depends if you know, have played this game. This again. I guess take it a bit too much time. Well, yeah, considering the build is wrong. What? Oh, I guess one of if a spear managed to get her down. Can you actually do that? I didn't know.
諦めろ。これが実力の差だ。
No, this is damage. I'm curious about that one. Tennis fall. Ricky, Spectacles was wanted to take down Tenan for it. Huh? I guess you can. Didn't know.
全力で行く。悪く思うな。
And now I lost quite a plot.
なんだ
Of what was I talking about? Oh man. Yeah, probably when I do the book of... I was talking about something about it. When I didn't finish reading the book of... This one, the Predator Nature. I really going to have to need a script. Which... Hopefully my abilities to making ratings have not been lost. The last time I made something was my project for graduation, which was a 180 pages long document with different doing with something with already knowledge and project in mind, right? Was a assistant of a school for the how do you call it? Internet page. Assistant the students. So already something I already had quite experience to make a document compared to use go to raw dogging. A script of a, what would say, a review from a book I read, which is also a gamble if someone is going to saw the video, right? What's that? They could do a lot of damage against close characters. Yeah, rather a decent review, right? So one that's at least worth watching. Yeah, why did you stop talking about the book, right? Yeah, I find pretty entertaining the pacing it managed to get with all the things that have been happening. I was saying, the first act of the story was that first contact with the herbivore race, and after that it was like a combination of the herbivore, well, the herbivores, the ships had to first lay against the Federation that because they sent out distress signals at the signs of the humans because they thought they were going to be predators, they were going to kill them, right? So send out distress signal, but after seeing that we were not actually going to try to kill them, they had to lie against the Federation and attack one of the ships actually. So that make them retreat and don't try to do something bad against the humans. Let me just hit in case. Well, after that, all the story was that from those points of view, the herbivores showing humans because why they're so afraid, and the point of the captain of trying to discover what did they were trying to hide with that reckless attempt of attack against an actual Federation, because without help of the Federation, like a normal planet was not going to be able to resist the attack of the snakes. And as such, the captain is Sobin is the second point of view we have there, and then we have the point of view from Marcel and the little ship, because they're beginning to have trainings of piloting, I guess test piloting, to try to fight against the snakes, the humans and the ships, right? To defend the ships. And to not in case the snakes in some point view the humans as enemies. At that point, because they were committing a bit too much with also his enemy. There we go. That one is the important one, which I can see. Alright. Yeah, I do there, but this one is also wrong. Which probably we'll have to check later. Also talking about, yeah, if they didn't know if snakes were going to attack in some point humans, because their vicious acts were actually true. Like they do. I was talking about maintain cattle of the other races they then manage to defeat and use it for sport, as if they were the classical horror story we have in our time. Well, a rich guy just kills a dog because he wanted. Oh no, we finally have a bit of damage. And they just kill dogs for sport. They're trying to run. They do that with prisoners as slaves also. So they were quite cornered themselves, right? As I was saying, the Federation used a virus to kill both cattle and the species. The cattle was just directed, and the species was by make them unable to eat meat, even if it is the only thing they can actually eat, because they have the enzymes to digest plants. They were, I think they call them obligation carnivores, when it's the only thing their system can actually process. What did they give me? Make sure. Shame that they managed to get one more escape there. It's alright. Let's go, Ricky. Something about the humans. But yeah, that's the second part. The drills about trying to get accustomed probably not sure not be tapping up too much into them. Raki is quite annoying. Alright, this one. No. I forgot about that. The staggers. Forgot that it goes there. You have to dodge to the side and just stay below.
なんだ
Because that one is an undodgeable one. Which I forgot. We had one more life?
いつまでそうしているつもりだ
Then let me get... Fine. Let's go. We're having drills to fight against the lizards in case they attack, or the Federation, because they also were a plan. So it was a double plan to make the chiefs able to defend themselves and to make the chiefs accustomed to humans. And get humans accustomed to armaments. Also history, yay!
ロイ、私よ、ライチよ。
うるさいんだ虫が。頭の中で飛び回ってるんだ。痛いんだ、体中が、脳が。
ロイ、ここでじっとしてて。すぐに博士を呼んでくるから。
You know, I have never felt migraine or stress, so when I can't, so it's, I guess sometimes it's hard for me to empathize.
呼んでいるこの感覚
Empathize
知っているぞ僕は知っている
with situations like this.
見つけたずっと探していた青に惹かれてきたのか青
Oh, it was the sword.
青これは青だ手に入れなければそうだ青だ欲しいのかだったら飛び込めよ素晴らしい
It was Hasama? Maybe one of the forms when Hasama got one of the bodies?
急げ、早く引き上げろ。ロイ、ロイ。離れろライチ、食われたいのか。すぐに連れて行け、ロイを隔離しろ。ロイ、ロイ。
Foul bird.
そうだと思うかもしれないけど、可能性のかけらは起こ
Isn't
る
that
かもしれ
coffee?
ない未来や世界がたどるかもしれない可能性というより、もう一つの世界の出来事なんじゃないかと感じる。
もう一つの世界異世界とか
どちらかというと平行世界っていう言葉の方が近い印象だけど、そうずっと疑問だった。私たちが解析しているあの記憶の正体、可能性の一部だというのなら、エースが見る記憶はあまりにも具体的すぎる。まるでどこかですでに起こった出来事みたい。では今回の記憶も別の世界で起こった戦いの情景の一部だと思う。これまで確認してきた記憶のことを考えても、その世界で人類は何か強大なものと戦っているんだと思う。
僕たちの知らない別の世界か。確かドクター・メルクリウスが前に可能性の海で取得できる可能性のかけらは誰かの記憶の一部かもしれないって言ってたよね。ボックスの仮説が正しいなら、それは僕たちとは異なる世界の誰かの記憶。もしも平行世界があってそこの住人の記憶なら、 僕が既視感を感じたのは平行世界に存在する別の僕の記憶とか。
私はその可能性が高いと考えてる。これらは漠然としたあるかもしれないじゃない、明確にどこかで起きたあったことだって、そう感じてならない。
ドクター・メルクリウスは可能性のかけらについてどこまでご存知なのかしら。あら、カフェは？
え、カフェなら。
Jump in.
やめてください。
Ah, so predictable coffee.
見たいんだよ。自分の目で可能性の海を。人間の存在をも抹消しかねない情報と可能性の渦、そこにあるものをね。
君では可能性の海に耐えられない。膨大な情報量に肉体も精神も正常を保てなくなる。最悪存在そのものが消失するぞ。
死にに行くようなもの、あなたは分かっているはず。
そんなことはどうでもいい。
どうして？何が君をそこまで引きつけるんですか？
世界の真実、誰も知り得ない知識。
前に可能性のかけらから見た記憶の中にあった言葉、それは何？
わからないよ。わからないから知りたいんじゃないか。俺はどうしても見たい。
システムがダウンしたんだ。すぐに予備電源が回復させるはず。
カフェ、意識を失っているようです。外傷はありません。
Stand by.
カフェ、確かにかなり可能性の海にのめり込んでいたみたいだけど、
Who do you think is
ま
going
さ
to
か
be
ダイブしよ
next?
うとするなんて。どうしましょうか。
Lime or is tea?
このことドクター・メルクリウスに報告します？報告しておけばカフェが無茶をしないように働きかけてくれると思いますが。
Oh yeah, say it.
わかりました。
She should actually have cameras all over the laboratory itself, so
お前たちは引き続き実験と研究に集中し
what's the point anyways, right?
お疲れさん。
カフェ、もう大丈夫なんですか？
大丈夫って何が？ああ、そっか。俺急に倒れたんだって。面倒かけて悪い。とりあえず大丈夫だ。
覚えてないの？
は？何が？
君は
何ボケた顔してんだよ。
Probably the next one is going to be lime and tea is going to be the last one if
さ
I
っさ
have
と
to
準備
say.
しろよ。
どうなっているんだ。
ダイブ装置に接触した影響でしょうか。寸出のところで止められたと思っていましたが、可能性の海
Tea
から
may
何かが流
probably
出して
being
いた
the
の
last
かも
one
しれま
because
せ
it
んし。
manages to connect
ドクター・メルクリウスからは何も聞い
the
ていない
charts with him.
ということはこっちで何かするべきことはないってことかな。
今はそういうことにしておきましょうか。下手にカフェの記憶を刺激してまたあのような状態になっては困りますから。
そうだね。エースもそれでいい。
Mercurius.
ドクター A、 お前も感じているはずだが、状況はどんどん厳しくなっている。我々は急がねばならない。
Yes, the Sephiroths break too easy. Oh wait,
可
the
能性の
doctors.
海の底部を突破することを目指してくれ。そこに我々が求めるかけらがあるかもしれない。
Break through Sakura City. So Nan or Butterfly Lady. No, they don't have nothing to say this time. So, history, as we predicted, well, yes, I have predicted, Kefi was the next one to broke down and got reset now. And it was pretty direct with the zero of possibility, I guess, making the parallelism a bit clearer now. And also, probability is going to happen to everyone, so yeah, my proposition is probably is going to be Lyme next. Maybe one of the doctors, probably female, and then T, and this is going to be the last final connective strand that when T breaks down, is going to see like it is like T is the embodiment of one of the characters from BlazBlue. Well, BlazBlue in quotation, right? From this chart of possibilities. Or that it's actually, yeah, I guess it's a parallel world where he's seeing the memories of another T. Well, I don't completely think it's that possibility. I'm more in that one that, yeah, they are impersonations of characters from the chart of possibilities. We'll have to wait and see. Oh, yeah, one more is getting reset now. So use 2 left. And also from the book. I'm sorry again. I guess I haven't developed the complete skills. Like, and this moment I'm talking quite right. So, well, I guess maybe they did use quite a lot of brain power, BlazBlue, huh? Even if it's, well, I was going to say it's not the most difficult game, but I lost just in the end, right? I still had one more sun left. So maybe I'm not the best example to say it's not that hard of a game when I can't even finish it myself. But I would say I probably could use still my brain power horror, right? But yeah, still, I guess I hope I managed to say a bit of my thinkings about. Well, I talk about more the story that I was thinking about the book, but I found it quite entertaining, at least at the moment I am. Hopefully, I finish it by today. I've been reading from the morning, which is why this episode is quite late to the normal release date. Well, release hour. That is always the same. Well, tend to be the same. But hopefully finish it, and I keep my word of making it a somewhat short review of what I thought of the book and what I think every species is with my model, right? But yeah, thank you for watching. Sorry if didn't care about one of the two aspects, maybe the game or maybe the book. And hope to see you next time. Still, thank you for watching and bye bye.